Hi, I'm Antonella Rose. I play Gabbie in Terrifier 3, and this is Pop Culture with Pat.
What's your favorite scary movie?
Hey guys, welcome back to Pop Culture with Pat. So I am so excited to be joined by today's guests. Today I am talking to Antonella Rose, who plays Gabbie in the upcoming Terrifier 3. Thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Thank you so much for having me. It is such an honor.
Oh, you are very welcome. Yeah, I mean, I'm really looking forward to, as I think the rest of the horror community, to see Terrifier 3, which some people have already gotten the chance to see it, where it premiered at the festival, but everyone else is going to get to see it in the next couple weeks. So, yeah, just to kind of, start things off for you, Antonella, as far as when you came across Terrifier 3, what had you most excited to just join this project, but also to get to play Gabbie in the film?
I love horror already. I'm a pretty jaded horror movie fan. So just to be able to be a part of one of my favorite horror movies, well, it's definitely a lot my favorite now that I've been in it, but it was just a dream to be part of it.
Yeah, so that's awesome. So you are a horror fan. So just in the spirit of, of fall now and in the Halloween season, what are your some of your other like favorite horror movies?
Well, I just rewatched The Ring last night. That one was so good. It was
Classic.
so adrenaline pumping, and I think Emily Watts did an amazing job in it. Uh, oh, a movie that I think is like a timeless one that I can rewatch millions of times and never get sick of is Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children.
Yep. It's a good choice. I'll say I remember seeing The Ring when it came out in theaters and just I remember at one point turning around and just like looking around the theater and everyone kind of being like in their shirts like this watching the movie and everyone was so scared. It never like I don't know, it was creepy but it never scared me I think to the degree that some people got, it got scared them, especially that scene, in the beginning where the jump scare and you see the girl's face in the closet. It like I've liked it, but it just never like really like freaked me out. I watch like horror like all year round, so I mean I'm behind. I feel like on some of my stuff this year, but yeah, I mean some of my favorites, Hocus Pocus. I'd say not really horror, but like more like Halloween, family friendly. Adam's Family, like we were talking about. Uh, Pet Cemetery. That's a classic for me. That one's actually always creeped me out. Oh, and I was going to ask you too. So as far as Terrifier, so you were familiar with with Art the Clown and just the Terrifier franchise before you got cast in the film too?
I was pretty familiar. I had watched the second film.
Oh, geez.
I had watched the second film. I don't remember how long ago it was. I think I watched it once it came out. But I have to say, when I saw Art's face and I was like, wait, it's that movie? I was shocked.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean it's pretty crazy. I mean the bedroom scene, like obviously from Terrifier 2 and just
yeah,
how crazy that was. So
I'm already familiar with all the prosthetic and stuff, which I that really admired. Like I really always admired that. I love watching the people get into prosthetic and the whole blood thing. I love it.
that's I say I know it's not, you're not your first time doing horror as well. So like with doing like the Fear of the Walking Dead. But yeah, no, I mean, yeah, I mean I love especially like the when it comes to the effects, I love the practical, special effects. CGI, it's good when it's used right, but I think for horror films, when you can use practical effects and makeup and things like that, it just looks so much better. Can you just kind of tell us about your character Gabbie overall and what kind of prep work did you do to play her?
Gabi, she is so curious and so full of life. She looks up to her older cousin Sienna. I mean, she is definitely brave, like her cousin Sienna. I have to say that. I don't know what I can and can't say about the movie.
Yeah.
But for my preparation, all characters are different and all art is different, but normally I'll just look up and I'll like research the movie. So if there's like a book or an existing film or series, especially books, because then they help you with like the comprehensive aspect of it and whatever research you can do on the director or the style anything works, anything helps. And I'm a big supporter for research.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I mean that definitely helps with, performances. And so did you like obviously, I mean you said you saw like the second film and where you said that, where she looks up to her older cousin Sienna, did you specifically watch Lauren's performance in that second film to kind of inform how you were going to play the character without going into obviously any details about what happens, but did you just kind of study her performance from that second film?
As soon as I found out that I booked the role, I was so over the moon. So I watched both of the movies like a gajillion times. And I was watching it mostly with my mom, and she was like, "Why are you looking at these gory scenes? Like, close your eyes. This is disgusting." And I'm like, "It is, but it's so cool." And I'm getting sidetracked.
I love that.
But I think Lauren, she is so fierce and she is so beautiful. And I think that she did such an amazing job. I have to say, wow. In Terrifier 2 and Terrifier 3 now, she's such an amazing actor and she deserves all the credit.
Oh yeah, I've been some of the reviews and reactions have been starting to come out for the film, and I've seen a lot of people praising Lauren just for her performance again in this movie. And I mean, she was a standout in the second film too for sure. I mean, she really kind of I think cemented herself as a modern day final girl. We don't really have like too many of those. Like the slasher is kind of starting to come back now over the past like couple years, but you don't kind of see as many of those it seems like lately. But now we're starting to get those, and Sienna I'd say is definitely up there on that list for me for sure. What was it? So speaking of Lauren, what was it like working with Lauren Lavera and Elliot Fulham and David Howard Thornton, and how did they just kind of welcome you to this cast?
I didn't have a chance to work with Elliot, but I've heard so many amazing things about him, and I hope I meet him at the premiere. Um, oh, Lauren, like I said, she's amazing. She's the sweetest person ever. I look up to her in a Gabbie way. I want to do everything like her, speak like her, just like her, act like her. We just clicked when we met, and best. She's so sweet. David, he's such a genius. He is so smart. I remember on set, he would he gave me this like 1 hour history class of just things that I wouldn't learn in a regular book, and it was so cool. And my set teacher got to count it as the history class for that day, which was even better.
Oh wow, that's cool.
There was never a dull day on that set, and they welcomed me with open arms, and I think that was the best part.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I mean, we were talking about Lauren. I think, I mean, yeah, she's a great, role model to have as someone to look up to. I've gotten to talk to her on the channel here as well, and I've met her a couple times at different cons. She's a wonderful person, and David too. I met him once at a con, and it's so funny because he plays this character, Art the Clown, that is so menacing and evil. But you meet him in person, and he just seems like he's like one of the nicest people that you can meet as well. It's always weird, like how that kind of works, where it's like you have someone playing a character like this, and you're like, oh, how are they going to be like in real life as like a person, and then a lot of times they end up being some of the nicest people.
Mm-hmm. There's so
Yeah, the Christmas setting for this film was one of the things that I was most looking forward to, just because anytime you can do kind of holiday horror, and we have a decent amount of Christmas horror films, but we don't get them, it seems like, as often. So when I saw that was something that like really, really excited me about the movie. What was it like getting to just be in that environment and getting to be on those sets with all the Christmas decorations and stuff like that?
the sets do have to be one of my favorite parts of filming. Um, Try not to say too much. I
Oh
want
yeah,
to
no
feel
worries.
surprised, but I have to say, there's a Christmas tree, and there are some hanging limbs.
Oh yeah, that's from. I'll say I know we see that like in the trailer, so that's I'd say you're good there.
Yeah, and I so much blood and everything, and I loved watching everybody like help make the sets.
Yep.
That was so cool. There are a few stunts on that set.
So you got to see kind of Damien and his crew get to work as far as like the special effects and stuff like that, and seeing all the props. Which, being a big horror fan, I'm sure you must have. Yeah, you must have just loved.
Yeah, they make magic, I have to tell you.
Oh, I can imagine. Yeah, for sure. And speaking of Damien too, can you just talk about your experience of getting to work with Damien, having him as a director, and what about him kind of just makes him stand out as a director for you?
Oh boy. Damien, he's the calmest person I've met in this industry so far. He is so sweet and he is so kind. And if I had met him in another situation, I would have never guessed he writes these kind of stories. he he does everything. He directs, he writes, he edits, he does makeup. What else can't he do? He he's an amazing director.
Yeah, he's created this whole world that, started off, with just this kind of this character popping up, and now it's grown into three films. And I thought I saw the other day that I could be wrong on this, but I thought I saw that they announced that they're going to be doing a fourth film in the series, like as well. So it's
He,
crazy.
I just really hope I can make him and everyone proud.
I'm sure you did with your performance in the film.
I haven't gotten to see it yet. I'm anxious waiting.
Are you going to be seeing it like the first time? Is it going to be at the premiere like coming
Yeah.
up? And where are you going to be seeing it? Because I know there's a New York one, I think that's the 8th, I believe, or something like that. Is that like where you're going to be seeing it?
Yeah. I am so excited.
That'll be have you had a chance to go to any kind of premieres or anything like that so far in your career, or is this going to be like, the first one that you've gone to?
A few years ago, not even too long ago, I think only 3 years ago, I went to the premiere for Candy. I
Okay.
think Christina Gore. That was my first ever red carpet premiere ever. It was such a surreal experience. I still can't get it out of my head. So the fact that I'm going there, I'm going to a premiere again. I'm stoked.
Oh, I can imagine. I mean, it'll be nice to just because I mean, you guys filmed this, so it's 2024. When did you guys actually film like the project? Because usually it's like a year or two prior when you guys are like actually working on it.
I've heard things about Terrifier 2. They told me that they did something during quarantine and they started in 2019 or something. They've been doing that for a while. I think they started Terrifier 3 in late 2023.
2023.
But I remember I started in like March.
Oh, okay.
So I was like near the end.
Gotcha. What are just like in general, obviously, not going into specifics as far as like what happens in the movie, but just what are some of your favorite memories from getting to work on Terrifier 3? It can just be hanging out with the cast, like in between takes or anything that just kind of comes to your mind.
I remember me and Lauren sneaking around to get snacks, filming at the mall when it was closed. And there's this one scene. I don't think I can say much about it, but I was in a harness. And I remember the whole day before the stunt, everybody was just like, "Are you nervous? Are you scared?" And I was like, "Girl, I'm fired up. I'm excited. I'm waiting until we get to the shot." And then I remember I went in and then I went out. I don't remember anything that really happened.
Oh, wow. So you almost just kind of like
It
blacked
was
out basically.
Yes, exactly. It was so creepy. My mom and a SAG supervisor came up to me and they were like, "What happened in there?" And I was like, "I don't know."
You're just probably just so, yeah, so excited just to kind of to get to do, whatever scene it was that, yeah, I'm sure you kind of, like you said, just kind of blacked out. And,
It
but
was
I'm
like
glad at least like you
a
didn't
whole
like,
new
didn't get hurt
person.
or anything.
I was a whole new person. I don't remember anything. I just walked out.
But yeah, no, and we saw in the trailer, we see like a little bit of like the mall when you see like Art, he's dressed up in like the Santa outfit and the kids and stuff are coming over. So yeah, I can't wait just to see all the different sets. It looks like that, just like as far as like the production budget and everything like that, it just looks really nice. Has like a kind of like a vintage Christmas, feel to it, which will be interesting. It's coming out in like the heart of Halloween season, but getting to see a Christmas movie, I can't wait to check it out. And I know a lot of the Terrifier fans are really looking forward to it as well.
Yeah.
I know you, so you love like horror, so maybe it doesn't really like scare you. I was going to ask you like what makes Art the Clown so terrifying for you personally?
I coincidentally I already have a fear of like clowns, like killer clowns in particular.
Oh, geez.
So when I just saw his face, I was already scared. I mean, getting to know David, who plays Art the Clown, it really helped a lot, but he's scary.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it's a different thing. Like once he puts on, he has like the makeup and everything like that. He's a totally, different person when he's in character compared to when you're just, talking to him as David one on one.
Mhm.
I'm assuming there probably wasn't, you didn't have to act too hard when it came to being scared of, of like art just in general, where you're afraid of clowns.
Yeah.
Now, who I have to ask you as far as like, because I feel like they're kind of probably like up there, the two top, scariest like clowns that I could think of, at least the top of my head. Who are you more afraid of, Art the Clown or Pennywise?
Ooh. Art the Clown at the end of Terrifier 1, he shoots himself and then he comes back to life.
Yeah.
And that I think is scary because he's sort of unkillable. So that is really scary to me. But both, I would not survive a chance against either of them.
Wouldn't want to run it. Yeah, I don't blame you. I wouldn't want to run into either one. And I think for me, honestly, like, I mean, Pennywise is creepy for sure. But the thing with like Art is just the fact how he goes after people. And like once he
Oh,
catches
the
you,
run.
yeah, well, just like when he catches you and like he kills someone, he doesn't do it just like right away. Like he'll usually drag it out. And I don't know, something about that just kind of like freaks me out a little bit.
Yeah. But if you watch Terrifier 3 without being scared, you need therapy.
I can't wait.
Brutal.
Oh yeah, no, I've heard from just the different reactions. People were saying that there just all the kills in general. It seems like are pretty crazy. It'll be interesting to see if anything tops the bedroom scene from part two, because I remember seeing that in theaters and just seeing the people around me. You could like hear and see like their reactions when it was going on. I mean, I was like, holy crap. So yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting. I mean, they always seem to kind of top themselves from film to film. So definitely can't wait for that. And yeah, I mean, as far as Terrifier goes, I think I mentioned it a little earlier that it's definitely one of the most like popular horror franchises right now. It has a really passionate fan base. So what does it mean to you to be a part of this franchise?
I feel like all of my manifestations and prayers have come true. It's been a dream.
Oh, I can imagine. It's something too that you might end up start doing like some like conventions and stuff down the road. After the film comes out and you get to make hang out with some of the crew. Because yeah, whenever I go to these cons, these horror conventions specifically, anytime there's people from the Terrifier series, they always have big lines and just meeting all the different fans. So yeah, I think it's something that you'll remember like the rest of your life for sure.
I've never been to a con, but it's always been my dream to. Mostly going as an actress and as a fan.
Yeah. They're a lot of fun. Like I've been doing it now for about a decade. I've been going to
Oh,
conventions, so it's just something that I love doing. I'm a big just fan of film in general, and so yeah, if you get the chance, I mean, it's fun going as a fan, but I mean, it'd sure be fun to have fans coming up to meet you and sign different merchandise and take pictures and stuff like that as well. You're no stranger to the horror genre. You got to work in The Walking Dead, Fear the Walking Dead before. What do you love just about getting to work in the horror genre overall?
well, I started with Candy, which it isn't a horror, but it's a very scary true story. I played Christina Gore, and then I started getting more emotional, demanding roles. That started since Candy with Tracy Otto and Fear the Walking Dead, and then Terrifier 3. I feel like that's my superpower as an actress. just to play all these emotionally intriguing characters, and they
Yeah,
would stick out to me.
there's definitely a lot that that's what one of the things I love about horror is there's just so many different emotions that you can access. I mean, you can make audiences scream, cry, laugh sometimes. It's kind of like you have everything in there. So it must be really fun as an actor just to kind of be able to play a character that can kind of elicit those emotions from audiences.
I have to say, from a very young age, I have been manifesting this sort of horror thing because I've always been like practicing my horror screams with my friends at sleepovers.
There you go. So you knew that you wanted this from a very young age. That's awesome.
Gotta teach them young.
So I hope that, yeah, I mean, I can't wait to, see, your future career and just hopefully we get to see it pop up in a bunch more, horror projects like going forward. Cause I mean, like I always say this to guests that I have on, I think that horror probably has like some of the most passionate fans, I would say, like out there, like in the film industry for sure. Without, again, just no specifics, but what are you most excited for fans to kind of see or just experience in general with Terrifier 3?
Well, it's the introduction of my character Gabbie, so I'm really excited about that. I hope the fans like her. And oh, Art or David with his facial expressions. He's an artist. He is an actor. Lauren being the fierce final girl that she is. There is so much about this movie that I love, and I hope that everybody else will enjoy as well.
I think they will. And yeah, speaking of David too, where he mentioned that with the facial expressions, yeah, I mean, it takes a lot too, because he doesn't have any lines. He doesn't speak or anything like that. So he has to convey everything, with his facial expressions and his actions. So that's not, yeah, it's not exactly an easy thing to do for sure. Is there anything else just to kind of, wrap things up? Is there anything else that you want to say about, working on the movie, or where can fans kind of just keep up to date with your work moving forward in the future?
I have to say, this is not the last you will see of me. And I hope that I make everyone proud. And there are definitely a few things that I would change here and there, but I'm I'm proud of what I did, and I hope I make everybody else proud.
I think you will. Like I said, I can't wait to see the film. I'll definitely, I'll let you know my thoughts once we get to see it in a couple weeks here. It's cool. It comes out. So I'm going to see it on the 10th. It's on a Thursday night. My birthday is on the 12th, so it's kind of like a, early
Ooh.
birthday present for me. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. But and yeah, as far as like social media where people can stay up to date with your work, do you have like Instagram, Twitter, or anything like that?
Yeah, I have an Instagram. The handle is Little Miss Antonella. That's sort of a self plug. Oh,
Perfect. Yeah, no, I will make sure to put that down below in the description. That way you guys can give her a follow, and that way you can keep up to date, with her work on Terrifier 3, but also just any of her projects in the future. Antonella, thank you so much for your time today. It's been an honor getting to chat with you about the film, a little bit about your journey so far, and you are welcome back anytime in the future.
thank you so much. And I want to say one more thing. As a movie lover, if you see anybody that is in a vulnerable position, just buy them a movie ticket and take them to the movie theaters. They will definitely create memories there, like I have.
Oh, for sure. No, I think that's a wonderful, sentiment to end things on. Thank you so much, Antonella. And yeah, again, can't wait to check out the film. Make sure you guys check out Terrifier 3. That's coming out in a couple weeks on October. Officially, the date's October 11th, but it'll be, premiering on Thursday night is like kind of the preview night for everybody. So make sure you check it out when it hits theaters.
Yeah. Hope you guys enjoy. Hi, I'm Antonella Rose. I play Gabbie in Terrifier 3, and this is Pop Culture with Pat.